Hi beautiful, welcome to my channel. In today's video we're going to be trying the new Divine blushes from Pat McGrath. Besides that, we'll also be trying the new highlighter, one of the lipsticks, and of course the quad that she came out with. I am so excited to get into all of these products with you, and I am leaving you guys links to everything that I talk about in this video down in the description box. So if you have any interest on any of these products, definitely check out my links down there. I'm leaving you links to Sephora and the Pat McGrath website, so that if you're interested, you can purchase these products wherever you would like. I have a lot to get into, so let's go ahead and get started. I am so excited to dig into these goodies right now. I don't know if I should start with the blushes or the highlighter or the palette. The palette really tempts me. I think I'm going to leave... Do I want to? I'm going to leave the palette for last. I'm going to do the blushes and the highlighter first, and then we'll do the palette and the lipsticks. So I got 3 blushes total. When you look at her swatches on the website, I got blushes 1, 2, I skipped 3, and I got 4. So blush number 1 is the blush Flirtatious, and that is the lightest blush of them all. All the blushes have this beautiful embossed flower in them that is so pretty. I kind of don't want to touch them, but I'm going to. And this one swatches just like it looks. It is a beautiful pale pinky toned nude shade. Now I will say, at first touch, this blush formula is super creamy. It's kind of the kind of powder that almost feels like a cream when you touch it, but it's still a powder. That's the type of texture that these blushes have, and I am so excited to try them out. The second blush I got, which is the one that is the number 2 swatch on her website, is the Nude Venus blush. This one is a little bit peachier than Flirtatious and a teeny tiny bit darker, but not too much. This one would still absolutely work for very fair skin, and of course light and medium as well. I went with these blushes because I feel like Pat McGrath had a really good range of blushes in her website, and the way that they swatched them was kind of like the lightest to darkest, which was very helpful when it came time to pick the ones that I wanted for myself. I personally don't like overly dark or vibrant blushes, so I knew that I was going to stay within the first 4 or 5 blushes at most. And then I decided to skip 3 because it looked too warm to the point where I probably would not like that one as much, and I skipped 5 because it looked borderline a little bit too dark for me. And I'm really thrilled with the ones I selected, because once you see them swatched on my skin side by side, they look like blushes that have potential to become instant favorites of mine. The third blush I picked, which is blush number 4, is the blush called Nymphite. All of these blushes are made in Italy, and they truly feel very luxurious. The powder formula feels incredible. So this is what the 3 blushes looked like swatched side by side. The first one is of course Flirtatious, then the second swatch is Nude Venus, and third but not last, the color Nymphite, which is so freaking stunning. Now, as you can see on my face, I went ahead and did my foundation, my concealer, and I also put on the Gucci bronzer, which I have been loving since I tried it. I tried not to do too much or not to put it too high, because I can do a lot of bronzer, trust me. This is not a lot, because I wanted the blushes to show up a little more. I feel like ideally I shouldn't have even touched the bronzer, but I did it, and we're just trying this out. So I think, man, moments like these, do I wish I had a third cheek. I think I'm going to do 1 blush on each side, and the third one I'll kind of do some forehead and chin situation so that I can swatch all 3 of them. We'll see how that goes. Okay, so I think I'm going to start with the color Nude Venus. If I were to have picked 1 blush out of the website for me, and I could only buy 1, I think this is the one I would have gone for, but by the end of this video I'll tell you out of the 3 which one is my favorite, because it might not be this one. But I really love the tone of this one for sure. So I'm going to use my favorite blush brush, which is the REPHR number 5, and let's just grab some blush up. And okay, these are more pigmented than I expected, definitely more pigmented than they look, which is really nice, and not a surprise when it comes to Pat McGrath products, because I feel like everything Pat McGrath makes has amazing quality. So Kind of surprised, but not really. Okay, that color is absolutely stunning. This is the color that has the bit more glow to it. So you can see my cheek is glowing, but like in a really good way. So far, so good. I absolutely love this color on me and the way that it looks. I'm going to bring a little bit in towards the nose right there. Wow. I really love that. So the one I'll do on this side is going to be Nymphette, and I'm leaving the lightest one for last because I feel like that's the one that I'll be able to get away with on my forehead and chin. So I dusted off my brush on a paper towel and I'm going to this one. So here's Nymphette, and let's put it on my cheek. So this one is pinkier than the one on this side. This one has more of a peach tone to it. Let me bring it in as well. So check it out. That's what this one looks like. See, and now I'm glad I put bronzer on because I'm never going to wear them without bronzer. If I have to pick between blush and bronzer, I do bronzer, right? So I'm glad that I have it on with bronzer so that I can really see what it looks like paired with something else. Out of these two, I still like this one better. This one was Nude Venus. I think Nude Venus is a definite hit. Okay, so last but not least, the color Flirtations. I'm just gonna do a lot so that we can really see what it would look like here, and then I'll just erase some of it. Okay, so that's what this one looks like. As you can see, this one has more of that matte finish and it looks really beautiful. This is a very natural looking shade, so I actually really think I would love this one as well once I put it up here on my cheeks with my bronzer. But it looks quite natural. This is the blush for you if you don't like your blush to be very like on people's face, you know? And you have a light complexion, of course, because otherwise I don't think it will show up much. But it looks really nice. I look like I had a weird rash. Hold please. I put the lightest one over my nose so that we can keep it there and still see it. But I did blend a little bit of foundation over it on my chin because I looked crazy, but that's the way it would look. I really love all three of the blushes that I got. I have no complaints at all whatsoever. I'm really happy with this blush formula from Pat McGrath. The blushes feel so creamy, they blend so nicely. They look very sophisticated on the skin. Even the matte blushes have a little bit of a luminosity to them, which means they just look so natural on. So far, so good. Even though I didn't see anybody's video on these blushes, I did see a couple of thumbnails where people didn't seem too impressed by them. And maybe it was like a clickbait kind of situation where you're like, hey, I don't know if I like it, just so people click on the video and be like, but why not, you know? Which if it's that, I totally get it. But I really like these. The packaging is beautiful. The blushes are so creamy, so blendable. The colors are right. I feel like the pigmentation of them represents what you see in the pan beautifully. I'm very impressed so far. I love the ones I picked for myself. I have no complaints. I recommend them. I will tell you my favorite ones at the end of the video. Let's go and get into this highlighter. First of all, thank you Lord, thank you Jesus, and thank you Mother Pat McGrath, because we finally have a lighter color highlight from Pat McGrath. The first one she came out with was more like a medium toned highlighter, which I didn't even go for because I knew that it wouldn't work for my skin tone, and watching videos about it later I realized that it would not have worked for me at all. The second one was the Divine Rose one that came out in the month of February, and that one is really pretty, but it's more of a unique shade that you might not want to wear everywhere because it has that kind of peachy rose gold type of a vibe to it. It's this one right here, and I really love it, but it honestly just doesn't go with everything. Before I get ahead of myself, let me show you a swatch of this new beautiful highlighter. This is called Golden Nectar. I thought it swatched absolutely beautiful. It was so creamy, so pigmented right away. I'm very impressed by the swatch. But now that you saw that, let's go ahead and swatch it next to the Divine Rose highlighter to see how they compare. Here's the Divine Rose, and this one was also made in Italy. Ooh, so pretty. Okay. I lowered the light so we can really see it. So see, Divine Rose has that like rose goldy type of a vibe to it, which is really beautiful. And then this one right here is the newer one, which is more of a champagne, more traditional type of shade. Now I'm a little scared that it's still not light enough for me. We'll see. If this one is not light enough for me, then I need to go tanning because it's unacceptable. Okay, here it goes. Ooh, that is, I hope you guys saw that. That is so pretty. I'm just gonna go for it. Put a little bit on the brow bone. Oh my god, I'm in love. It does look dark. It does look dark right there. But it's so pretty when the light hits it. See, it's creating a shadow right there when the light is not hitting it, which is not ideal because I'm just so pale. But again, maybe I just need to go tanning. Honestly, if you are lighter than me though, I probably wouldn't go for it just because you can see it looks dark. Anyways, let's put it on this side. And that way I can actually see what you guys saw on the camera because, oh, it's so pretty. It is a stunning highlighter. I absolutely love the glow. I love the formula, but it's not light enough for me, which makes me so sad. I mean, I am absolutely still going to use the shit out of it. Don't get me wrong. This will get used. I love the way it looks when the light hits it, but you guys can see when the light is not hitting my face, it does look on the dark side right here. Do I care? Like 5%, not too much. I still think it looks absolutely stunning. It is so beautiful. Let's get into this absolutely stunning palette. This is the Venus in Fleurs Luxe Quad in these names. Voyeuristic Vixen? We'll go with that. Beautiful. And the first thing I thought when I opened this one was, this gives me Charlotte Tilbury Fire Rose Quad vibes. So I pulled up my Fire Rose Quad and we will compare it. But before we do that, let's go ahead and take a good look at this one. So I cannot wait to play with the Rose Fire Nectar shade. Oh my god, Fire Rose, Rose Fire, what? Okay. Rose Fire Nectar shade. This looks like an Astral Blitz shade. I really hope that it is and that I'm not just making that up because it looks absolutely stunning. Twilight Bronze at the bottom on the right looks absolutely beautiful too. And that matte shade After Dusk, that looks like it was just made for my crease. It is so freaking beautiful. So let's go ahead and swatch these shades. First we have Moonlight Liaison right here, which, ooh. If you watch my channel and you still have not tried Pat McGrath eyeshadows, I know they're expensive, but man, they're so good. Let's go on to the second shade right here. No words. I have no words. Oh my god. It's so beautiful. I could cry. I'm crying. My eyes just watered. I am being very dramatic about this eyeshadow, but hold on. I'm not even trying to be funny. Are you fucking kidding me? Not me. Not me crying over pretty eyeshadow. Not me crying over pretty eyeshadow. I'm so stupid. Okay, I took a minute to compose myself and I'm back. Let's keep swatching. This one here is After Dusk, which I'm also very excited about. And here's how it's... Here's how it swatches. That is incredible. Anyways, let's keep going. This one is Twilight Bronze. And here it is. That one is absolutely stunning as well. So let me show you up close what these look like. Just look at how pretty these are. Oh, stunning, beautiful, gorgeous, majestic, fabulous. I could keep going. Now that I swatched it, I don't even feel like I should compare it to the Fire Rose quad because now I don't see them as similar anymore, but we'll do it anyways. So first, let's do the matte shade because that one really was the one that mainly was like, ooh, that looks similar, right? So I'm going to do it right over here. Oh, wow. That actually looks very similar. I'll show you up close in a second. Let me just swatch them all. So here's the first lightest shade, which I guess we'll swatch next to the first shade over here. And we'll do the sparkliest shade next to the sparkliest shade in this one, which I know is not the same color at all, but we can compare sparkles. And then lastly, the bronzy shade right here. Okay, so the vibes are similar, but you can see that they are different at the same time. The matte color is the one that looks the most alike, and you can see how the shimmer in the Charlotte Tilbury one compares to the Pat McGrath shimmer. So they do have very similar vibes. The Fire Rose palette is no longer available, so it would definitely be a really good alternative to have this new one from Pat McGrath. And honestly, I can already tell you that I like this Pat McGrath better. I've never cried over an eyeshadow before. This was a first, so that palette is special, okay? Let's go ahead and put it on my eyeballs. Let's get started creating an eye look, and I'm only going to do one eye look because I am for sure going to have to do at least 2 other looks in a separate video for you because this palette is just so beautiful that I feel like it deserves more. So we're going to do a whole separate video and we'll do a couple more looks with this one. Anyways, I'm going to grab my favorite fluffy brush, the REPHR number 15, and the matte shade. Sparingly because we saw that he was pigmented, okay? Pigmented. I barely touched the pan. Wow. This quad is made in Italy, right? This Pat McGrath quad is made in Italy, so you know that this is where her best formulas come from. That blended out so beautiful. Look at how much I grab. You guys sometimes ask me. It really depends on the eyeshadow brand that you're using and the eyeshadow quality that you're using. So it's sometimes you guys ask me to make a video on like how much exactly to like pick up from the pan, but it truly varies from brand to brand. This you barely have to grab any and you get so much out of it. But with some other brands that have powderier, cheaper shadows, you have to grab a lot more. Anyways, just look at it. It's so pretty. Now these punchier eyeshadows from Pat McGrath blend like a dream, but you do have to work a little bit on it because they pack a punch. So in order for you to get that beautiful blend, you have to go over the edges and do little circles like this, and that way you can really diffuse the shadow beautifully. I'm going to do a little more with a smaller brush to darken up the outer corner of the eye. I'm going to grab the lightest shade right here and put it on the inner corner, blend it in a little bit. And of course, you guys knew this was coming. We are putting this beautiful shade right in the center. It's so pretty. It's just so pretty. Right in the center right here. Just tap it with your finger. Just majestic. So beautiful. Wow. I love it. I love that so much. Back with the number 14. Yes, we're going to use the matte shade underneath the eye. REPHR's number 14 is perfect for this because it's a little fluffier and longer than number 13 for underneath the eye, so it'll really help diffuse this shade that is a bit darker. I'm getting my Pillow Talk eyeliner from Charlotte for my waterline. There literally isn't a better eyeliner for the job. Okay, the eyeliner is on. Let me do a little bit of mascara and I'll be right back and we'll try the lipstick. I'm back and I couldn't stop at my favorite, the Dark Star mascara. I also put on some Ardell Wispies on because I felt like this beautiful look needed some fabulous lashes. So the only thing I have left to try is this beautiful lip balmy lipstick right here. So this lipstick is the Lip Fetish Divinyl Lip Shine, which I absolutely love this formula. My favorite shade that I currently have before this one is the Nude Venus from her previous launch, and when I saw this on her website I needed it because this formula is just incredible. You guys know I've been into really hydrating, balmy types of lipstick, creamy, shiny, glossy oils, that type of vibe, and this is hopefully going to be exactly that. I think I'm going to put it on before a lip liner first, and then I will lip line my lips around it so that you guys can see it both ways. Let's put it on. I love this formula. Okay, that is stunning, and I actually think that it's pigmented enough that I don't need a lip liner at all with it. It looks really nice. It goes perfect with this eye look and all three blushes that I have on, which have somehow ended up looking like one after the highlighter. They look different before the highlighter, but when I put the highlighter on them, I feel like they kind of all blend together now. Anyways, I absolutely loved everything I tried today. I'm pretty sure you could tell. Let's talk blushes first, and I'll tell you guys if I had to pick one or two which ones I would pick. So out of the three blushes that I got, my number one favorite was the Nude Venus blush, which I believe, if I remember correctly, is the one I have right here on this side of my face. I just really love this one because it's a more peachy pinky vibe as opposed to the one on this side, which is a little bit more on the pinky side. I think this kind of nude pinky peachy color really complements my skin, and it's become one of my favorite color blushes to use. So if I had to pick one blush, I would definitely go with Nude Venus. My second favorite was actually the lightest shade, which is called Flirtatious. This one here I really loved when I put it on my chin earlier and in the center of my nose. I think it looked really beautiful. I think it would look beautiful with the highlighter, and I liked that because I thought it was a true nudie pinky light blush. Now if you have a medium complexion, definitely don't do this one because it might be way too light and borderline ashy for you. But if you have a light complexion like me, or if you have a fair complexion, then this one would absolutely be ideal for you. It is so pretty, so natural looking, and I really loved the way that it looked. And then the third one for me was the Nymphette, and I really love the way this one looked. It's the one I have on this side right over here. I actually think it looks quite beautiful. It's just, if I have to pick favorites, I think I like the other two just a little bit better than this one. If you have light or fair skin and you're going to pick the blush trio on her website, absolutely go for these three. I recommend them. They are beautiful, but you honestly don't need them all. So again, if you're just going to pick one up, definitely do Nude Venus. And if you just want something really light and barely there in like a true nudie pink shade, then go for Flirtations. Okay, so next let's go ahead and talk about the beautiful highlighter. I give it a 95 out of 100, 9.5 out of 10. It looks absolutely stunning. I think it makes my cheeks look so beautiful and glowy. I just wished it was just a teeny tiny bit lighter because I do feel like it gives me a little bit of a shadow on the sides of my face. Honestly, if I have to pick between Pat McGrath and Natasha Denona highlighters, the Natasha Denona highlighters for some reason have worked better for me. So the I Need a Nude Glow highlighter is my favorite one in this type of tone, and it is just a teeny tiny bit lighter than this one. So if I had to pick one, I would go for that one. If you just are looking to add a Pat McGrath highlighter to your collection, then definitely go for this one. Let's actually go ahead and compare the two. So this one is the Pat McGrath one, and this one is the Natasha Denona one. See, this is what they look like right over here. So you guys can see that the Natasha Denona one is just a tiny bit lighter than the Pat McGrath one, and that's why I think it just works a little bit better for me. They're both absolutely beautiful, but if you have light to fair skin, the I Need a Nude Glow highlighter is just perfect for us. This one is still beautiful, but it's just a teeny tiny bit too dark for me personally. Again, I'm still going to use it. I'm glad I got it and I was able to review it for you guys and give you this information. Now you can make a more educated decision, and that way if you're looking for a new highlighter, now you know. If you have a more medium to tan complexion, you can do Pat McGrath and that would work wonders for you. But if you have light or fair skin, then the I Need a Nude Glow highlighter would probably be better. The Divine Rose 2 lipstick is absolutely stunning, and this is my favorite lipstick formula from Pat McGrath, the Divinyl Lipstick. It's that like glossy, pigmented still, very balmy feeling, comfortable type of formula. I absolutely love it. And this lipstick looks spectacular. It's going to be absolutely amazing for summer, and I am certainly really happy that I got it. So that is another recommendation, and I absolutely loved it. And then last but not least, we have to talk about this eyeshadow quad. Obviously, I recommend it. You need it. This could be a great introduction to Pat McGrath if you still haven't tried Pat McGrath eyeshadows, by the way. This palette is amazing. I love that this is one of her made in Italy formulas. The quads that I have from the holiday release, only one of those was made in Italy and the other two were made in the USA. And they're still beautiful, but the Italian formulas are just a tad bit better. And I can tell you guys right now that this is my favorite Pat McGrath quad I have ever tried. Obviously, I have my Mothership palettes too. They're listening to me right there. I'm not going to say this is the best Pat McGrath palette ever because these bigger ones just give you a lot more options. But when it comes to the Pat McGrath quads, I honestly think this is my favorite one I have ever tried. I am obsessed with the way my eyes look. This is just right up my alley. Some of my favorite formulas. Everything was so buttery and blendable and pigmented. I mean, you guys saw my genuine reaction to all of these shades. I absolutely love playing with this one, and I promise you that I'm going to make a separate video with at least 2 more looks with this beautiful palette because I think it deserves it. I have the links to everything down in the description box of this video, so if you're interested in any of these products, please check out my links down there. I'm going to leave you links to the Pat McGrath website and also to Sephora so that you can pick which retailer you want to purchase it from. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching this video. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and if you're new to my channel, my name is Patty and I am a makeup lover, and I am totally inviting you to subscribe before you leave. Turn on the notifications bell if you want to get notified every time I upload. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you back in the next one. Bye!